Good afternoon. This is the May 17, 2023 meeting of the Dighton Public Library Board of Trustees. This agenda was originally posted on May 15th. We have to reschedule to today. The meeting was scheduled for last week, right? And the originally posted it. So in any case, this meeting is being recorded. It's a hybrid meeting with participation available by Zoom. It will be recorded and available on library's YouTube channel. And so with that, let us begin. Call to order. The Trustees Meeting that's taking place. We'll do a roll call. Just remind you that all votes by stating your name, or I'll call your name and ask for your vote. Ron O'Connor, Chair.
Peter Rubio, Trustee.
Ann Meitzen, Trustee.
Jocelyn Tavares, Library Director.
It's not on here, but let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Start in this one, this is fire. I pledge allegiance to the flag
The flag
The United
of the
States
United States of America and
to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with
liberty
and justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Okay, all right. We have the minutes of the April 13, 2023 meeting. Our review. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Peter Rubio, I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the April 13th meeting.
Ann Meitzen, I second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Ann Meitzen,
Aye.
Rita Russo,
Aye.
Ron O'Connor, aye. Minutes. Jocelyn. Next is old business update on 207 Main Street. Jocelyn.
There's not much new forward motion with the update, other than we just had our open house this past Saturday. And I didn't know if the board wanted to debrief on that. The library building committee is also meeting tomorrow for the purposes of debriefing on how the open house. So I didn't know if there was just things that stuck out to you that you thought we could bring to the library building committee to maybe clarify or hone on like some of your arguments, especially since you were on the tour.
Yeah, no, thank you for putting that on there. It's overall, I was very pleased and thank you. Well, you did help organize it. Well, yeah, I was co-leader of the tours with Joe Shea. Joe did most of the presentations. We held questions until after. In most cases, we asked people to present their questions at the tables outside. It's a way of sort of tracking those better. But most of the the comments that we had, or even just the questions that people asked offhand, they were good ones, and people seemed pleased with the space. Those that chose to share their observations, they felt it was. It's an older building, but it had this feel of being a kind of place that could house a library and all that it entails. Yeah, I think overall, I think it went very smoothly.
I think it was a good attendance, considering it was Mother's Day weekend, there were graduations, there were Little League games. It was good to see the number of people that came out, and they all seemed positive.
I agree. I thought it was a good turnout of all sorts of people I'd never seen in Dighton before, which is always a great sign.
There was a story of the lady who came, I forgot who came up to me and said it. And I knew who she was and she walked through. She's in her 90s. She read like 14 books a week.
Yeah.
She's had a
Oh,
stroke.
yes.
She no longer can read, but she wanted to see the building before she died.
Yeah.
She loved the library.
Oh,
This is.
Prayer.
I'm hopeful that she will see
Yes,
it.
yes.
Yes,
yes.
I'll just. Opportunity here on record to thank cable TV for being there.
Yes.
Recording it and I don't know where that stands in terms of making that available, but they were there, so. Folks might want to look at that. For, I apologize, I don't recall her name. But Laura, yes, Laura was there for the first tour. Walked through that whole thing and then she took a video and later tour coming into the building. So yeah, thanks for done that. So she took some video outside as well.
I think she was around us.
Yeah, she seemed to be around for a long time, so it's great. It's good to have that. Yeah, that's all I had. Do you have any?
No.
Thoughts? Yeah, it's been very well attended. It was a good day. The weather was nice. Annual town meeting.
You know, I just wanted to just mention that we have the 2 warrant articles, warrant, and it's June 5th. So,
Town meeting is June 5th at 7. There are 2 articles on the warrant, articles 14 and 15. Is that right?
I don't,
Yeah, I think that's, I heard Joe Shea say sometimes, I think that's what registered with me. So those are the alternative, those are the warrants will fund the interior work that needs to be done to complete the project. And yeah, I think that's all. I think there are efforts, my understanding, and we'll need to confirm this, but I believe as trustees, this is not a ballot question. It's a town meeting question. It's a town meeting issue, and I think we're free to speak in support of it. Confirm that. I think each just, I'll let folks know if we Jocelyn. Yeah, I can't say, but my sense is because this is our role as trustees is to advocate for improvements to the library. Because it's, I know it was a ballot question, there are different votes for that, but I meant to be prepared for that for discussion today, but I wasn't. But my recollection of reading the law about what we can do as public officials with something like this, as elected officials. I believe we can speak in support of it. Couldn't see. Outreach and Education Committee.
I started making a flyer based on our previous meetings, and it made sense to narrow the task focus that we're asking people for their help, to narrow it in a few areas. So we defined like a 3-pronged team approach with programming, communications, and advocacy. That's a 3-pronged approach. So I started explaining what we discussed into a promotional format, and I'll send it to you, Anne. And then I got interrupted in my process, so.
Okay. It's good to have. Nice.
I also don't remember if we set another meeting or did we? No, okay, no, we did.
I don't think we did.
Okay. So we can figure that out later.
Mhm.
A little more work, it's not complete by any means. But. I know, it's probably what we at least owe you.
No, it's fine. It's good. You know, this is a work in progress and it's attractive. It's, I think my question at this point is the committee, is it composed of more than just Rita and Ann? Have we added people to it and are there plans to do that or?
I felt like we needed more definition.
Yeah. That's what I
Don't
thought.
you-
That's what I thought. Yeah, and that makes sense. I think that you,
Create a program and.
yeah, right. That this is great for structure because, you know, in time you'll add people who might want to participate in any one of these three boxes, so
Yeah.
to speak, and then, you know, some will say, well, I just want to do it, and others will say, no, I'd like to be part of a
Right.
committee that's working on how the different pieces fit together. I think that makes a lot of sense to me, so.
I just felt like it needed, felt like we could keep talking about what we wanted to do. and
Yeah.
how,
Yeah.
like, set. Path together.
So I think this,
And
that's why I turned it over to you folks. I had some grand plans, but I think this is good, and, you know, I don't think we'll get to the point where we have such a large committee, that we have subcommittees on programming, communications, and advocacy, but that, you know, that's kind of the space that I'm coming from where that might happen, but I think that that's gonna be an organic process if we get to there. I think I like the idea of just inviting people to be ambassadors and then let them plug in where they think they can, and if we're successful in getting 3 or 4 people on each of those groups, we'll.
Well, I have a friend who came, she lives in North Dighton, as a business in Vermont. And she's very pro-library, and she came, she called me back later in the afternoon, like, things you could do down there, she started naming all these programs, and I thought,
Yeah,
like, you know, and there, you know, I know one thing that she would do for sure.
all right,
Yeah.
so that's just,
Okay,
it's just a flow going because of our.
Of course.
So that's what's welcome.
thank you. The 3 of you for what you've done so far, and we'll move it forward. It's good. And you'll set another meeting.
Yeah.
Sure. There's other important outreach to do right now, so expect this to be burner until we get past the town meeting.
I can always pick you up anytime, Ann, if we have a meeting.
Okey-doke.
Okay, anything else on that? If not, staff appreciation month. Or whatever it was, we had planned something, we talked about it, and thank you, Rita, for what you did for staff on that, libraries week. Appreciation for employees, but we had talked about doing a lunch.
Right.
For, like,
I thought that was something that we,
yeah, that was nice.
so we weren't gonna be able to do the lunch and stuff.
So I think that's all, just to talk a little bit more about. We pretty much knew what we're gonna do for how we're gonna do pizza and for like time is more. Yeah, picking a time, is it the middle of the day, is it the end of the day? We talked about that also.
Would it be, do you think we should maybe ask the staff what time, like, frame they would like? Because, you know, they,
We can't,
Yeah.
because once we get through, we're entering the fiscal year. So there's a lot of goals and so we can try to figure something out maybe early summer. To get it just.
Oh, so you wanna go that far? It's-
Well, maybe July, just because
Yeah.
the calendar is
The dance card is filled.
It's amazing how it,
Okay, you have a better finger on the pulse of that. Yeah, if we could at least, start checking in with them and
Yeah.
coming up with a date and beyond.
and if we can squeeze it in June, definitely, I hope so.
Okay,
Being able to.
all right, that's fine. Statistics under new business. Anything you'd like to share about this, Jocelyn?
Is it the same one you passed out on?
Yeah, nothing really stood out. We're still. I always look to do better, but I think we keep growing. The trends are the same, like from February to March to April from last year, which is interesting. So hopefully continues in an upward trend. Yeah, that's really, that's the items that are used electronically are used really well. And I'm thinking, maybe devoting more resources to those items and assessing some of the other items. Robust.
Yeah, I think. What? The question for me is always like, how do we promote these without it being a lot of work,
Right.
right? And I have, accounts to access some of these, but I forget that they're there.
Yeah, I think a lot of these cards you have to make time to use them
Mhm.
because you do forget.
Well, that's a tip in itself. I don't know where you can plant that on the webpage, but on the Dighton's digital library page, maybe you say, here's a tip. Make time on your schedule to do this on a regular basis because it's easy to forget that you have it. Some people use them enough that consumer reports we know we can go there. Some of these others like Friedel, I get reminded from Friedel. But others might be, I don't have any particular strategy other than, try something new.
Right.
But again, I don't want you to do a big marketing campaign.
No, I that's it's one of the things. Overlooked. And there's a lot of them to choose from, so.
Yeah. It's a lot there. Okay, see, I forget we had Kennedy, because there's so many, so many different streaming options.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when we're situated to having movie nights with Unity,
Oh, great, yeah.
because they do have some titles that have performance rights, so.
It's good.
Yeah, so I integrating them into the programming efforts. One of the ways to come, something I've always wanted to do.
Any other thoughts or comments on statistics? Does this get posted in some way? With the the video, with the recording, or is there a way people?
I need to, I've been thinking about the
Yeah.
best way.
Sure.
And I don't know if it's creating a template that the board of selectmen does for their meetings.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, but yeah, I don't know the best way to.
I'm just thinking, people who are watching the video won't know what we're talking about, and they might.
Right.
So it makes an inquiry provided. If it lives somewhere for people to access it readily, that would be good too.
Yeah.
Anything else then on statistics? Okay. End of year fiscal proceedings.
We have some. We're getting close to the end of the fiscal year. So the. When certain items are due and certain procedures need to be done, and one of the things that I wanted to point out was there's a new signature designation form for boards and committees. And it allows the board to delegate a single member to review and approve bills and warrants for payment. And then give a report of what they did at the next meeting. They do allow a secondary approver. And it just needs to be voted that that designation is made. Otherwise, I believe the whole board is supposed to sign legally, so I don't know if you want to give that some thought. We have until June 30th to turn in the official paperwork with the town accountant. So we can give it some thought and make the designation at the next meeting, or if you have questions,
Okay.
I can clarify.
But they're, like, someone will be designated, like you said, and then say that person's away, so there is a second.
Right,
Command that could.
right.
Okay.
So that's a little bit of it. I don't think it's new, but the town is treating it in a different way than normal.
Okay.
There's an actual, this is the person, if you choose, if the board chooses that, this is the person, as opposed to in the past, we authorized everybody.
So that's the difference. So we would have,
Singularly.
we'd have to choose. We now have to choose someone who would be the primary signer. And so we want to use some thoughts. Who that would be, doesn't have to be the chair, and it could be person who's most reliably able to get here to sign things.
We do have. I just wanted to highlight,
And then they would want a report on this.
we could work on that.
Yeah.
It would just be, I mean, for us, a lot, most of our invoices are materials, you know, and there are certain times of the year where like we pay the sales assessment, you know, there's more of a rhythm to what we do. It's not. It depending on how, I mean, I could, everything to help you with that,
Okay.
like that.
All right, so we can put it on the agenda for our June 8th meeting. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Holiday hours for Memorial Day weekend.
I was just checking, in the past, we typically close the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. And I just wanted to show that was still okay.
Right, because you close Friday,
You would vote.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yeah. And we're open Saturdays for the summer.
Yes.
So something that didn't click with me
Right.
last year. So because we're closed, we'll continue to be closed on Fridays.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Do we need to vote on that?
I think it probably would be.
No. Okay, I'll entertain a motion that the library will be closed on the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, the 27th, is it?
I move, Can you hear me?
Yes.
I move that the library be closed the Saturday, the 27th of Memorial Day weekend due to the holiday.
Second,
Rita Russo, I second.
okay, any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll vote. Rita Russo,
Aye.
Ann Meissen,
Aye.
Ronald O'Connor, aye. Motion passes. The library will be closed on the Saturday, May 27th.
Similarly, the following weekend, the Couchit Festival. Well, last year we closed with the expectation it would be really difficult to
Get in and
get
around.
in and around, and it looked like that proved to be the case last year, so. To close the library, it's June 3rd.
I make a motion that the library also closes on Saturday, June 3rd, due to the Couchit Festival.
I
Second. And Meissen second.
Yes.
Any discussion? All right, and Meissen,
Aye.
library will be closed Saturday, June 3rd for the Fellowship Festival. Are we gonna have a table here?
Yes, Lori,
Friends.
yeah, Lori is gonna be handing out the summer reading books on Saturday.
Good. Yeah, but having a building spaces closed makes sense. But last year was very busy. It
Right.
was the first post-pandemic.
Last year.
Last year, so.
Friends are planning on putting out the wishing well there. And I know they discussed weekend of customer appreciation, you get a room shows there.
Okay.
And some of the people.
Great.
Me included, will sit there.
Next item, making sure authority designations that we're just talking.
So, yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was an end of year fiscal year. Fiscal year proceeding.
But that's basically.
We just talked about that. Okay, anybody for input? You have anybody for public input? Okay. Zach is there, but is there an update from the Friends?
I sure do. How are everybody?
Good.
See, you're in your classroom, Mr. LaPointe.
I am. So we met last Thursday and a couple of things transpired. First of all, on a positive note, I did attend the open house on Saturday, and I feel the same way a lot of you do. It was very well attended. Joe Shea from Granite City Partners did a fantastic job detailing each part of the building and what the uses are going to be for. I think it went very well, and the turnout seemed to be really good when I was there. We have a mailer going out. That's the biggest thing that's transpired since I last updated you. A lot of our discussion over the last few meetings has been surrounding advocacy for the library project. And we've come up with a mailer, which I can share with you by email at another time, and you'll get it in the mail anyway at some point. But it's basically an informational flyer that gives the facts as to why you should vote yes for Articles 14 and 15 for the CPC funding that needs to be approved at town meeting. We also, I'm sorry.
No one said anything.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. So that's the first thing. We also have been given 10 of the heart signs from the Lions Club again. And one of the library staff members' daughters has volunteered to write Dighton Library on them. And those, I believe, they should be at the library now. If not, they will be momentarily, should be within the next few days. We also approved the New Bedford Whaling Museum pass at a that pass allows 4 people at $50. So a lot of the things I was gonna bring up too was already brought up. We did talk to Arujo's about having our wishing well at their business for Customer Appreciation Week at the end of June. We also have a table at the Not Arts Festival. I'm way ahead of myself here. Couchette Festival. And we also are gonna have a table this Saturday at the Dighton Community Church, their spring fair. So we're trying to get the word out. That's been our biggest thing, is advocacy over the last few meetings. And that's kind of all I have. If you have any questions for me.
Zach,
Yeah,
they also mentioned to me the bronze plaque fundraiser. That one of the friends had the idea.
we had talked about that briefly, and I'm sorry, I don't remember what the discussion was on that. I'm looking at the minutes right now as I'm updating you guys. I don't recall that discussion. I'll have to talk to Karen and see if we can figure out what it was.
I just wanted, I was supposed to bring it to the trustees to see if, or the building meeting. This is something that can be.
Oh, I know what this is.
We've
Okay.
got to implement it.
We had talked about the possibility of allowing people to pay to adopt furniture, a shelf, things like that in the library, in the new library. But I'm sorry, that's all I remember about that conversation.
That was about it. There were no details. It was just kind of introducing the idea.
Well, Karen is the lady that works at the vet clinic, was talking about it, correct?
Tracy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tracy.
She mentioned that you can get the plaques and they come in different sizes. And they're like pre-labeled, and then you could put in memory of or whatever afterwards.
Yeah.
And she said, but it would have to come to us, the trustees, to vote on it, to approve it.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ready for that at this point.
Right. I just thought it was a great idea.
I do too. We meet again on June 21st. We set another meeting in June just to basically touch base after town meeting, how it goes, whether it goes either way. I will put that on the agenda for our June 21st meeting, and we can discuss that further.
Okay, thank you.
Yep,
Good. Anything else, Zach?
that's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
Oh, just thank you. Thank you to the friends for all you're doing. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Certainly, no problem.
Okay. Any questions for Zach before he goes? Okay. Personnel. Okay. Respondents. Upcoming programs.
There's a travel channel program called Expedition Bigfoot. And one of the searchers joining us to talk about Bigfoot sightings in Massachusetts. He grew up in Leominster, or he still lives there. And that will be on June 6th, Tuesday, here at 6:30. We're getting ready for summer reading. Off the top of my head, I'm not thinking of a particular program that is planned. I know there are some craft supplies that have been assembled, and I think Lori's been working on planning certain things. I'm trying to, one of the items, we got a grant from the Cultural Council for craft supplies, and I'm trying to remember what particularly it was, but it's coming because June is very long. And Selectman Mello had asked about starting a book group. So we talked about it, and we have a Facebook poll up to see if people are interested, when they'd like to meet. And, she has an idea of the book. It's a book called, goodness, you got me on the worst day. I think it's called Beach Read or something like that. It's a light summer read. We're hoping to be able to have a time set up for late July, early August to meet and we'll
Yeah.
together, have
That sounds
another book group.
Yeah.
That's about it.
All right. Nothing else for the agenda today? All right, then. Our next meeting is June 8th. 6 p.m. Thursday.
Correct.
If nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Rita Russo, I make a motion that we adjourn.
Ann Meitzen, I second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded to adjourn. We'll vote. Aaron Bonner, aye.
Rita Russo, I.
Ann Meitzen, I.
Thank you.